Have you ever felt like you were born in the wrong time? As if the world is spinning too fast, conversations are too shallow, and life has become a race you never wanted to join? If so, you might be an old soul, someone who values depth over speed, meaning over noise, and authenticity over appearances. But in today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, old souls often feel out of place, misunderstood, and even invisible. Let's explore why the clash between timeless values and modern speed. Old souls are not defined by age. A person in their 20s can be an old soul, while someone in their 60s may feel completely at home in modern chaos. Being an old soul is less about years lived and more about the depth of perception, the hunger for meaning, and the tendency to see life from a wider, almost timeless perspective. But this very perspective often clashes with the way today's world operates. Modern society is built on speed, fast information, instant communication, quick decisions, and endless multitasking. Meanwhile, old souls crave slowness, reflection, and substance. This mismatch creates a deep sense of disconnection. The value of slowness in a fast world. For an old soul, slowness is not laziness. It's a conscious choice to be present, to fully experience moments rather than rush past them. But in today's culture, slowness is often criticized. The world rewards those who are quick, responsive, and constantly available. Emails are expected to be answered within minutes, social media thrives on instant reactions, and productivity is measured by how much you can squeeze into a single day. For the old soul, this speed feels suffocating. They long for conversations that stretch late into the night, not hurried texts filled with emojis. They want books that take weeks to digest, not short reels designed to vanish in seconds. They want to feel life, not just skim through it. This tension creates a silent struggle. Should they try to keep up with the fast rhythm of society, or honor their natural pace, even if it means being misunderstood or left behind? Depth versus surface living. Another challenge lies in the obsession with appearances. In today's world, surface-level impressions dominate. Social media profiles, curated images, and quick soundbites often matter more than genuine personality, wisdom, or integrity. Success is measured by followers, likes, and visibility rather than the depth of one's character. Old souls, however, are wired for depth. They are not satisfied with surface interactions or small talk. They want to understand the hidden layers of people, the mysteries of life, and the reasons behind human behavior. For them, surface living feels empty, like eating candy when the soul craves nourishing food. This creates loneliness. Old souls often find themselves surrounded by people yet feeling profoundly alone, because true connection is rare in a culture that values speed and appearance over authenticity. The noise of the modern world. Silence is another treasure old souls value deeply. They draw strength and clarity from stillness, reflection, and solitude. But silence has become a rare commodity in our noisy world. Notifications buzz, screens glow, and background noise fills nearly every space. For many, this noise is normal, even comforting. But for an old soul, it is overwhelming. Their sensitive nature makes them absorb the chaos like a sponge. Crowded places, endless chatter, and digital overstimulation drain their energy. They need quiet to recharge, but the world rarely allows it. This struggle with noise goes beyond physical sound. It includes mental and emotional noise too, the constant pressure to achieve more, buy more, and be more. Old souls often reject this pressure, but resisting it can make them feel like outsiders, misunderstood by those caught in the current of modern ambition. The desire for meaning. At the heart of the old soul struggle is a relentless desire for meaning. They don't just want to live, they want to live purposefully. They ask questions like, what am I here for? What really matters when all is said and done? How can I contribute to something greater than myself? But in today's fast world, meaning is often overshadowed by convenience and profit. Companies push trends that fade within weeks. Entertainment is designed for distraction, not reflection. Even relationships are sometimes treated as temporary conveniences rather than lifelong commitments. For the old soul, this lack of meaning feels like a drought in the desert. They thirst for depth, purpose, and authenticity, but the world keeps offering them shallow substitutes. This creates frustration, sadness, and sometimes even isolation. The hidden strength and struggle. Yet this very struggle reveals the strength of old souls. By refusing to conform completely, they become keepers of wisdom in a world obsessed with speed. They remind us that life is not a race, that silence has value, and that depth is worth more than appearances. Old souls may struggle, but their presence is a quiet act of resistance. They show by example that there is another way to live, slower, deeper, more meaningful. And while the fast world may not always understand them, it often needs them more than it realizes. Emotional sensitivity in a numb world. Old souls often carry a heightened emotional sensitivity. They feel more deeply than most people, not just about their own lives but also about the lives of others, the struggles of society, and even the state of the planet. This sensitivity is both their greatest strength and one of their biggest challenges in today's world. We live in a society that often rewards emotional toughness, quick comebacks, and the ability to stay unaffected. People are encouraged to move on, stay strong, and don't overthink. But for old souls, these phrases can feel like an attack on their very nature. They don't just move on quickly. They reflect, they process, and they carry lessons from their pain. This slower, deeper approach to emotions can make them feel out of sync with a world that values efficiency over empathy. The gift and burden of empathy. Empathy is the cornerstone of an old soul's character. They don't just notice what people say, they sense what people feel. A slight shift in tone, an unspoken sadness, or even a false smile can speak volumes to them. While others may overlook such details, old souls pick them up immediately. In theory, this is a beautiful gift. It allows them to connect with people at a profound level, to offer comfort, and to create genuine bonds. But in today's fast world, empathy is often undervalued. Society tends to reward ambition, competitiveness, and results, qualities that don't always align with deep emotional attunement. The result? Old souls often feel like their empathy is a burden. They absorb too much. News headlines about injustice can weigh on them for days. A friend's unspoken pain can keep them awake at night. The emotional noise of the world doesn't just pass by, it penetrates their hearts. And because the modern world rarely slows down to process emotions, old souls are often left alone with their overwhelming feelings, struggling in a culture of numbness. One of the defining features of modern society is numbness. People scroll endlessly through news feeds filled with suffering, disasters, and conflicts, often reacting with nothing more than a quick like or comment. Entertainment often glorifies violence, and real human struggles are reduced to trending hashtags. This culture of numbness is unbearable for an old soul. They don't want to skim past human suffering. They want to sit with it, understand it, and, if possible, heal it. But when they try to bring depth into discussions, they are often dismissed as too serious or too sensitive. This dismissal cuts deep. It makes old souls question whether their depth is an asset or a flaw. But in truth, their struggle is not weakness. It's a refusal to accept a world that feels emotionally shallow. The challenge of relationships. This emotional sensitivity also plays out in relationships. Old souls crave authentic, soul-deep connections. They don't care about status, looks, or superficial qualities. What matters to them is emotional resonance, the ability to share silence comfortably, to understand each other without many words, and to support one another through life's storms. But modern relationships are often fast and transactional. Dating apps encourage swiping based on appearances. Friendships sometimes revolve around convenience rather than commitment. People are quick to move on when things get difficult. For the old soul, this is heartbreaking. They give their all in relationships. They listen deeply, love sincerely, and remain loyal through hardships. But in a culture that treats connections as temporary, they are often left feeling used, misunderstood, or abandoned. This can lead to a paradox. Old souls often withdraw from relationships to protect themselves, yet their deepest desire is to love and be loved at the most profound level. Emotional burnout in the modern age. Another challenge old souls face is emotional burnout. Because they feel so deeply and give so much of themselves, they often run out of energy in a world that demands constant engagement. Imagine walking through life with no emotional filter. Every sound is louder, every emotion is stronger, and every interaction carries weight. This is the reality for many old souls. While others can brush off harsh words, old souls may carry them for weeks. While others scroll through tragedies, old souls feel them in their bones. The result is exhaustion, not just physical but spiritual. They may feel drained by everyday interactions, overwhelmed by the state of the world, or even depressed by the gap between what life could be and what it currently is. The hidden power of sensitivity. Yet, sensitivity is not a weakness. It is, in fact, a rare kind of power. Old souls are the emotional healers of the world. They notice the pain that others ignore. They validate emotions that others dismiss. They create safe spaces where authenticity thrives. In workplaces, they are often the quiet anchors, the ones who notice when someone is struggling silently. In families, they are the peacemakers, the listeners, and the ones who carry traditions of love and care. In friendships, they are the confidants, the ones people turn to when life becomes too heavy. The struggle lies in learning how to balance this gift without letting it consume them. Old souls must learn to protect their energy, set boundaries, and remember that feeling deeply is not a flaw but a reminder that they are alive, human, and connected to the essence of existence. Why the world needs their struggle. It may seem cruel that old souls have to endure such a mismatch with modern society, but their very struggle serves a purpose. In a world becoming numb, their sensitivity keeps humanity alive. In a culture of speed, their slowness preserves meaning. In a society obsessed with appearances, their depth keeps authenticity from disappearing. The world may not always understand them, but it desperately needs them. Their pain is not in vain, it is the price of being guardians of empathy in an age that risks forgetting what empathy is. Finding peace in a world that doesn't slow down. Old souls may struggle in today's fast world, but struggle does not mean defeat. In fact, their very challenges can be turned into sources of wisdom, resilience, and peace. The key is not to fight the pace of the modern world, but to learn how to live authentically within it, without losing their essence. This final part explores how old souls can navigate life with grace, protect their peace, and transform their struggles into strengths. Accepting that the world won't change overnight. The first truth old souls must embrace is that the world will not slow down for them. Technology will only get faster, communication will continue to shrink into shorter forms, and consumer culture will keep pushing speed and convenience. Fighting against this reality leads only to frustration. But acceptance does not mean surrender. It means choosing where and how to engage. Old souls can consciously decide not to participate in every trend, not to chase every new gadget, and not to measure their worth by the world's pace. Instead, they can create their own rhythm within the chaos. Just as a calm lake exists within a noisy city, old souls can carve out pockets of stillness in their daily lives. Acceptance, in this sense, is empowerment. It frees them from the impossible task of reshaping the entire world and allows them to focus on what they can control. The art of setting boundaries. One of the greatest tools an old soul can develop is the ability to set boundaries. In a world that demands constant availability, saying no is an act of self-preservation. This might mean limiting time on social media, refusing to overcommit to social gatherings, or simply allowing themselves moments of solitude without guilt. Boundaries protect their energy, shield their sensitivity, and allow them to recharge. For old souls, setting boundaries is not selfish, it is necessary. It ensures that when they do give of themselves, their presence is full, genuine, and healing. Without boundaries, their empathy burns out. With boundaries, it becomes a renewable source of strength. The power of solitude and reflection. Solitude is often misunderstood in today's world. Many associate it with loneliness or isolation. But for old souls, solitude is sacred. It is where they reconnect with themselves, with nature, and with the timeless wisdom they carry. Taking walks in nature, journaling, meditating, or simply sitting quietly can restore balance in their lives. Unlike the shallow entertainment that fills modern culture, solitude gives depth. It allows old souls to process emotions, understand experiences, and find meaning in struggles. Reflection also helps them step back from the rush of the world. While others may drown in distractions, old souls use solitude to gain perspective, to remember what truly matters, and to realign their lives with their values. Choosing depth over quantity. Old souls thrive when they focus on quality rather than quantity. This applies to relationships, work, and even personal goals. In relationships, they don't need dozens of acquaintances. A few deep, authentic connections are enough. In work, they don't have to chase endless achievements. They find satisfaction in doing meaningful tasks well. In personal growth, they don't seek quick fixes. They commit to lifelong learning and wisdom. By choosing depth over quantity, old souls step out of society's rat race and return to what nourishes their spirit. This choice reduces stress, brings fulfillment, and reminds them that success is not about how much they do, but about how much meaning they find in what they do. Transforming struggle into wisdom. Every challenge an old soul faces can be transformed into wisdom. Their discomfort with modern speed teaches them the value of slowing down. Their sensitivity to suffering teaches them compassion. Their loneliness in shallow interactions teaches them the importance of authenticity. Instead of seeing their struggles as weaknesses, old souls can reframe them as lessons. Each difficulty strengthens their role as carriers of timeless wisdom. They are not meant to blend seamlessly into today's world. They are meant to remind it of what it has forgotten. Building a community of like-minded souls. One of the most healing choices an old soul can make is to seek out others who share their values. While they may feel out of place in mainstream culture, there are many others quietly walking the same path. Communities of old souls can be found in spiritual groups, creative circles, book clubs, or even online spaces dedicated to mindfulness and authenticity. These connections offer validation, encouragement, and a sense of belonging. When old souls come together, they realize they are not alone. Their struggles are shared, and their presence becomes stronger as they support one another in navigating the modern world. The role of gratitude and simplicity. Another key to peace is embracing gratitude and simplicity. Old souls often feel overwhelmed by the noise and demands of modern life, but simplicity brings them back to center. Gratitude helps them notice the beauty in small things: the warmth of sunlight, the sound of laughter, the comfort of a good book. Simplicity reminds them that they don't need endless possessions or constant stimulation to be happy. By choosing a simple, grateful lifestyle, old souls resist the pressure of consumer culture. They align themselves with what truly matters: love, peace, wisdom, and connection, becoming beacons in the modern world. Ultimately, the struggles of old souls are not just personal, they are universal lessons for humanity. By staying true to themselves, they become living reminders that there is more to life than speed and appearances. They show others the value of slowing down, of listening deeply, of feeling fully. They teach that success is not about rushing ahead but about living with meaning. They inspire others to reconnect with silence, nature, and each other. Old souls may not change the entire world overnight, but their presence plants seeds of change. Each act of authenticity, each moment of compassion, and each refusal to conform to shallowness creates ripples that spread far beyond what they can see. Closing reflection. Why do old souls struggle in today's fast world? Because their values, depth, slowness, meaning, and empathy clash with a culture that often ignores them. But struggle is not failure. It is the mark of being different in a world that desperately needs difference. Old souls are not here to race with the world. They are here to remind it to pause, to breathe, to remember. And though the world may not always understand them, it is precisely their timeless presence that keeps humanity grounded in what truly matters.